Hello and welcome back to Popcorn at Plot Holes. It is 2025, the year of the robots uprising.
The year of our robot.
I am your robot overlord.
It started. It
Matt.
has started.
It has begun.
Pleasure to be here, fellow robot.
Luciano, you have not introduced yourself.
I am sorry. It is a failure of politeness on my behalf.
Great.
What's the deal with humans? What a bunch of clowns.
That's enough on that bit. Welcome back, Chris. Chris resisted the robot uprising, and he is no longer with us for this episode. He may come back next week. Who knows? But in the meantime, we watched the Netflix smash hit, the greatest hit since that one with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Red Notice. Ugh.
Red Notice. I was thinking Red One, and I knew that wasn't right because that's a different
That's
Rock
the
vehicle
sequel.
on a different platform. We watched Carry On, Jason Bateman villain vehicle. Is
Vehicle,
that-
yeah. I mean, it is, but it isn't, but it is.
It is the Sophia Carson vehicle.
Sure.
Who's she in the movie?
Nora.
Nora.
Okay. Yeah, this was her vehicle.
Yeah,
To the sun.
The Hank vehicle, whatever the actor's name is.
the Hank. Oh, that's Dean Norris.
Dean
Norris,
No,
yeah.
that's what it is. The Dean Norris.
The Dean
There
Norris
you go.
vehicle. Okay, great. We got it. Yeah. So let's dive into it. First, we always do is we always say something nice of a movie. One nice thing each, just in case the movie wasn't good.
Right.
And so let's start with something nice. Spencer, what do you got?
I'm still a robot. No, I'm just joking. I think that the part I like most about this movie, I liked the premise of the movie, and the hook got me. I liked the hook, the premise of him maybe having to put the earpiece in, and he's like, I like that kind of like thriller, suspenseful vibe where it's like, he's got to keep it on the down low from his boss, but he's being threatened on the, I like movies like that. I know there's other movies like that. None's coming, maybe like any coming to mind, like Phone Booth, Colin Farrell vehicle.
Yeah.
Like that kind of,
Hey, like even Collateral.
kind of like Collateral. Like
It's like a tense thing where
Well, like
there's
Die Hard 3 kind of
what
did
is
that.
Die Hard? I've never heard of this.
Yeah, well, good, because you shouldn't have if you wanted to watch this movie.
I was just
Wait,
saying how original
Die-
this movie was.
Do you mean the Jeremy Irons one?
Yeah. Somebody
No,
have
he said-
fun.
No.
He sends her on another little quest.
Wait,
No. I hate that
As I
movie.
was going to St. Ives, I met a man with 7 wives. Each wife had 7 cats. Each cat had 7 kittens. Kittens,
Why
cats,
is it
cats,
always
wives.
Jeremy-
Somebody were going to St. Ives.
Why is it always Jeremy Irons?
How many were
that
going to
ends
St.
up in
Ives,
this?
Luciano? One! Yes, one, motherfucker! What? Just a fucking guy! But I've never heard of Die Hard. That I like that. So it was cool.
Great.
If only it had remained with the thriller. Never mind. This is
This
later.
is positive.
We'll get there. Positive time. Luciano, be positive.
My favorite scene of this movie. I actually really enjoyed it because it was unexpected. It was the fight scene in the car between the LAPD woman, Elena, I think is her name, and the fake agent, whatever his face is, Lescott.
Alcott.
There you go. I liked they kept like the shit happening around the car, sort of like going completely mayhem, and them like with like really like calm music playing in the background, they're beating the shit out of each other, and she was a super badass in that scene too.
It did stand out.
I really enjoyed that
It
scene.
stood out quite a bit.
Yes,
It was like
because
it
it
felt
was
like
it's a very good scene. Very
They use a
like,
lot of their budget to make that one
Yeah.
cool action sequence.
Yeah.
It was like
but it was so like unlike the rest of the
Yeah.
movie scenes too.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought that scene was cool, but it was like it like really did not fit. It felt like for like 3 minutes it became like a Kingsman movie.
Another. Yeah,
You know, it
yeah.
was like,
That's true.
Taron
yeah.
Egerton too. That's funny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just like picturing like pop rock movie where it's like, yeah, let's go, dude, and there's like gun shooting everywhere, every dying. Like it felt
Yeah.
like
No, it felt like a foreign, the scene was a foreigner. In
yeah,
this movie.
like if you like watch the
Yeah.
like opening third of this movie and then you're like, out of context watch that scene, you'd be like, that's not from this movie.
That's not the same movie. Yeah.
But it was cool.
But it was a very fun movie. Very fun scene. Yeah.
That's your answer. You're sticking to it.
Yes.
Great.
Hey, what about you, Matt?
What about me? Yeah, no, you guys definitely didn't take all the things that could possibly be
Definitely not.
an answer.
No, definitely didn't. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I think this was this is good. This is fine. I think this was actually the perfect role for Jason Bateman to be a villain. It's one where it's more him talking and manipulating with his words and social engineering, all that stuff, and like less about his physicality. Like, not to say he's not in shape, but like it wouldn't have been very believable if he was running around and shooting people and fighting and all that stuff. And he was very effective talking to Ethan and getting him to do stuff and manipulating the situation at all times.
Yeah.
I would say, though, there has been a big uprising on geriatric action heroes with, John Wick and that nobody with Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
So, old men shooting people is a new genre in itself.
Well, that's fair. It is.
To me, the surprising bit was Jason Bateman as a villain, because to me, he is Michael Bluth. But
yeah, I mean, it definitely took a second to not to stop expecting a sarcastic jab.
Yeah.
Or like he's like, I can't put the bomb. And he's like, well, what can you do?
Yeah.
You sound like my ex-wife the way you're running. It's like just expecting like those kind of like sarcastic humors. But then after you get used to it, you're like, he's actually good being like really serious, and he was really like no nonsense, which is like the opposite of his.
Yeah,
he was quite brutal too, which I liked.
Yeah, he was very believable. Like normally when actors he did it, but like when actors try to kind of step out of their zone, you go like, okay, that doesn't work. It completely took me out of the movie. It wasn't the case here. Yeah.
Well, I've watched. I don't know about you guys. I watched Ozark, and he's awesome in that.
That's right.
And it's serious.
I knew about it. I haven't watched.
He's fantastic in it, but it's not the same. He's not really playing like a just straight up bad guy. He's not a good. He is a bad guy in the show, but it's like it's like a understandable bad guy where it's like his point of view, kind of like a Walter White kind of.
Right.
This is like straight up villain, and it was cool.
I'd forgotten about Ozark. You're right. Yeah.
This is sociopath villain, right? Like the guy. You took a man's husband and then told him he wouldn't die if he boarded a plane, but like he wasn't getting off that plane alive, right? Like he boarded the plane with a package and they would have set it off. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think any of them. I don't think Ethan would have survived either, because they don't. Because he's like, he doesn't. He knows his voice. He knows too much.
Well,
nobody would have survived. Yeah.
This kind of gets into. Listen, the movie has some warts, and one of the warts is. There's a lot of things that happen that just don't. So basically, the way I see it is the first half of the movie is really cool. It's really tense. It's a way more of a thriller than I thought it would be. Very little action, but it's very. The tension is high, and you're like, "Damn, how's he gonna get out of this one? Damn, how's he gonna solve this?"
Yeah.
And the second half of the movie, we get into stuff where it doesn't make sense. Like, the Traveler, Jason Bateman's character, says to the Watcher, "Hey, kill the girl," but like, why? Why at this point? At the point in the film where he's like killer, he's still trying to escape the airport because the terminal they're in has been locked down. So why? Like he just wants to keep the Watcher busy. Is that why he tells her to go kill her? Like it seems unnecessary.
It's because Ethan crossed him one too many times, right? And he thinks he's gonna because Ethan knows about him and he's gonna have to go try and save her or whatever. But to me, on that same point, where the movie starts kind of losing the thriller aspect of it. Not in full, but that's where it starts, is when he decides to go look at and talk to Ethan face to face. When he was making the Traveler, he was making it a point of like keeping away from him and just talking to him, like being mysterious and being unseen and all that stuff, which to me was just, they can see what he's doing. Never mind that Ethan is being an idiot every time. Like he tried to call 911. They clearly can see him. Now he does the thing on his watch and he still keeps it on top of the table just so we can see it. Like, even with that, like he was being very like, holy shit, like you said, Matt, like how is he going to get out of this? How is he going to foil this plan? And then he just goes and shows himself. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I know it's because they got Jason Bateman and they have to show him, but it's kind of dumb because the secrecy of it, and him just being a voice in his ear, to me made a lot of the tension of it. And when they kind of confronted each other, you put a face to the voice, and I was like, okay.
It's like,
it's
How
just
do
this
you?
old
Oh, sorry,
dude.
Spencer. I was like, how do you unpack things that have to happen in movies because they're movies versus things that are stupid?
well,
like
in
that?
the
Logical?
movie Phone Booth with Colin Farrell, they'll go back. They don't show Kiefer Sutherland for
There
the
you
entire
go.
movie until I think the end. I
Okay.
think they show him at the end. But I don't mind them showing him. That wasn't a nitpick for me because he kind of forced him because he like told the guy and then he had to step in and kill the guy. Isn't that when he shows his face?
He
Basically,
gave them he writes on the ticket in like the invisible ink.
yeah.
Yeah.
And give me the description. So it seemed plausible, right? I agree with you, Spencer. It's like, yeah, all right, but it seems plausible because he got forced into killing a guy, and now he knows what he looks like anyways.
Realistically, there's no reason why Jason Bateman was even physically there. They had the security cameras, which is how they
Exactly.
were watching him. So, but I guess he wanted to be on the ground in case what happened, and he
Yeah,
could
now
get
you're
involved.
getting to the core. If you're basically saying, hey, this movie shouldn't have been this movie.
Yeah,
By
exactly.
saying he shouldn't have been on the ground. So it's like,
no.
you have to let a movie operate, right?
I liked having him there. Whatever. That's like probably the least of my like nitpicks. There's a whole lot more.
Yeah, it's not. That's not the thing that. But I think that's where it started when they started like him. He comes to him while he's still trying to get this plan across a bunch of times, and they goes talk to him in the bathroom and whatever, and all that shit. And like it still works. And this, yeah, I'm gonna go there. So this is one of the main problems that I had with this movie. It's kind of what you were saying. It's like the stuff was happening and it was very tense in the beginning. It was very interesting, but it was also very convenient, everything that happened. Like all the stuff, like it was so easy for them to tap into the security of the airport and nobody noticed, and they could just pick up on.
Yeah, they hacked into the mainframe. What are you confused about?
I feel like listen. I'll say it because it feels like we're. You ever watch those videos on Instagram where like a guy reviews Star Wars and reviews it like people review movies in now, and it's like you just tear apart everything instead of letting the whimsy take you away. I feel like to a little bit you're just like you're mad this movie isn't perfectly detailed and logical in science, but like
When would
movies aren't
Luciano
trying to
ever do that? When would
Yeah,
Luciano
well,
ever say
well,
actually and fix?
Beyond that is just we've said this before. Sometimes like less is more, right? Don't try to show me what you're doing.
Sure.
Just let me
Right.
fill in the blanks. But they do show it.
Showed what?
And then
the
I
guy,
was like, oh fuck.
the guy can see the cameras. What did they show?
No, that's fine. But
Yeah.
like him pulling up Ethan's, like he types like 3 letters in the keyboard, and then all of the guy's life shows up, where he lives, all that shit.
Well, you think he doesn't
It's
have
not-
shortcuts? Luciano, listen.
I do.
Listen to
I do.
yourself.
I don't think he does. I don't think he has shortcuts. no.
What do you want to see? in a
Luciano
movie?
wants a
Like,
blank black screen with just audio, is what he said. What he's telling you. Just leave it to the mystery, the imagination of the mind.
I honestly, it's a good question, man. I don't know. It's but I was like, how can I put this? It was
It's because
like,
you need to turn off your brain because you know how that shit's supposed to work because that's your job.
Yeah, like I'm
Maybe.
not
And
in
you-
tech. I don't know any of that. And to me, I'm like, whoa, buttons go burr, computers go whoosh.
but buttons go click click,
'Cause
screens
at
go.
least-
Yeah,
They had the decency of like breaking into everybody's house and snooping
fair.
around.
Yeah, that's
and-
true. Like that was
and
actually a
pulling
good touch.
information, right? Like it wasn't just like they went straight to the dark web.
I mean, although that's
Yeah.
probably unnecessary nowadays. They go to his house and like, this guy's got a girlfriend. It's like they could have looked up his Instagram file and found all the information they needed. They don't need to go
Right.
into their
True.
house.
Also true. Also true.
But
But like I thought, like they had this plan obviously in a long in advance, obviously, right? Like they investigated Ethan's friend, never remember his name, and they were going to snatch his family and all that stuff.
His
right?
name was
I think it was
Jason.
Han Solo.
Was it Jason? Okay.
Yeah,
Han
Hans Gruber.
Solo. But like they were reliant on, for example, this one thing. Oh, he's gonna be the one who's gonna be on that particular machine, and there's no chance that he's gonna be assigned to the particular machine that is like the Watcher said. Oh, this one is facing ALXPD, so we can't use that guy. The other guy is military, so we don't want to use that guy.
Are you mad that movies get made?
when they're bad.
Are you-
This is actually
Listen,
bad.
Yeah,
but
Go ahead.
Luciano, Matt, let me take this. Who hurt you? What
This
movie
movie.
hurt you
No,
to
it
the
doesn't.
point where you can't enjoy a
it
film?
didn't.
It's funny because Luciano is pointing out such the minors nitpicks when there are such huge nitpicks.
Gaping,
We're gonna
gaping
get there.
holes.
No, get
We're
there.
gonna get there.
We don't need to slow build. Just
like
fucking
I
get
was
there.
gonna say, all the parts that he's critiquing are, in my opinion, the parts that were working. Like this movie did a good job of being like as a viewer,
It's
everybody
enough.
does this as a viewer, where when they're
Yeah.
watching the movie, they're like, you kind of go, "What would I do?" And this movie
Yeah,
did a good
exactly.
job of every time he thought of something he should do, he would actually kind of try it, and then they would show how they were able to counter that. So then you're like, "Fuck, he kind of has
Shit.
nothing he can
Yeah.
do. He's stuck."
Yeah.
And then all that work all of a sudden gets thrown out at a certain point of the movie where it just becomes fuck logic movie fun
yeah.
time.
Well, yeah.
And if they didn't
We need
just
to go
if they
to
didn't,
action.
if they didn't do that in the first half, I'd be fine with a dumb action movie. But the first half, they were actually like doing a good job of making it feel grounded and possible. And then the second half is just like, oh, we're Tom Cruise now, and this is fucking Top Gun Airport Edition.
That's where
I'll-
it unravels. That's the part, right? And it's, I know I don't want to step on the plot hole because it's going to come up, but there are little things that aren't in the plot hole that still matter. One of the ones is how Jason Bateman dies at the end of the movie in the plane with the special sealable fridge, and
I actually love that death. It was
oh,
very
it's a great,
karmic.
it's a great death, but it's like the entire plan that happens there is completely idiotic. Not like oh yeah, maybe it'll work, but like the idea that he's gonna, because he has to be on the plane to defuse the plane, but the plane has already left the gate, right?
Yeah.
Like why would you ever think that he's going to be able to drive and get in the plane, right? That's the sort of thing where
That's what I mean. Like
we're gonna get into
and
a lot
those-
of that stuff, I think.
yeah,
Those contrivances add up. That's what I'm saying. Like it started like a little bit is fine, but like even one that got explained later because he was like, "Oh, this is not mine" when he puts the headphone in, right?
Yeah.
And it turns out that the girl was part of the crew,
yes,
right? Which I thought it was a nice touch,
Mhm.
but like I was like, what if he hadn't checked his phone? Because he might be at work, not checked his phone at all until it's time for lunch with Nora. Then you gave him the thing. He goes like, oh, whatever. Puts it in the thing and never checks his phone until it's way too late.
what are you
What-
doing here?
That's what I'm saying. It's one too
If
many.
my
contrivances.
grandma
That's my problem.
Had wheels.
It's
she'd
not
be a bicycle.
No,
Is that
it's not. The problem isn't with that one only. It's a
No, but-
bunch of stuff together.
But
That's
okay,
what I'm
so
saying.
maybe we'll get on this topic because what you're doing is not. It's like
It's me being me.
You're mad about the big thing, and you're just talking about little things that don't matter because the big thing is the problem.
obvious points.
But they add up.
But these don't matter.
I was already mad before I knew what was going to happen after.
You're only mad about these things. Well, okay, sorry. You're mad at these things because you're you. But
Yes.
an audience person, a regular person,
Yeah.
was only mad at those things because
We've mentioned
of
this before, right?
how
With a
the
good movie,
second-
you excuse these
Yes,
things.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so picking on them because the movie's bad is just like, yeah, all right, but the movie's bad. But like those aren't the problem. Those aren't the reason the movie's bad. The movie's bad.
Spoiler alert for the end. I don't actually think this movie is that
Luciano,
bad.
like a
We'll
better
see.
example of what you're trying to say is the girl Nora at the end. The guy with the sniper rifle is told he can kill her, and he's like,
Right.
And then the whole movie, he's been watching her with a sniper rifle, and then he decides to walk into the airport to kill her, and
Yes.
then
Well,
she
that-
decides
that
to
to
walk
me-
out of the airport into a isolated parking lot to get away from him when she works
Yeah.
in an airport where she knows all the security guards.
And where she can go to a place where he can
Yeah,
reach.
she could easily
Yes.
just walk behind a desk.
So-
and so that
Punch on the code.
that is an issue, not the fucking
Before
Linux goddamn short keys to open up a file on his computer.
before that, even when he tells the Watcher to kill her, right? Ethan is talking to her, trying to get her away. Why did they go to the only place? Ethan knows that they have a sniper or whatever. Why would they go to the front of the airport with all of those giant windows and wide open spaces that she can be shot at. Why wouldn't he take her inside to like the restricted areas where a potential sniper can't get to? Right. But again, it adds up.
Great point, Spencer.
Thank you.
Fuck you.
I will say, but like onto our point about the tonal shift of this movie, it's like that is best encompassed. I actually watched this movie with my wife and her mother went to bed, didn't watch the whole thing. She was just like tired, whatever. So she left after like the first like third of the movie, and the next morning she's like, "How the movie?" And I was like, "It was good." And she's like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Well, the bad guy at the end brought a parachute and a nerve bomb onto a plane, and he planned to blow it up and jump out of the plane, but he was thrown in a fridge." And she was like, "What happened in this movie between the start and the end?"
Yeah,
it's a fair question.
I was just like, "Yeah, you're right. It got pretty crazy."
It's essentially when the car scene happens.
Yeah.
Like everything up to the car scene is like this is a to me. I was very surprised that there was no action because I was expecting so
tight,
but it was
thriller, not psychological.
It was very tense.
Yeah. And it was great. It was really tense. And I'm like, damn, I'm tense. I didn't expect this to happen. It was good.
Yeah.
And then that car action happens. And I'm feeling for the first time.
With a Netflix movie? This is crazy.
And then that action sequence happens and it's cool. And then it's just like, oh
boy.
They liked it. They got a taste and they liked it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. It's like, ooh, this can have action too. I like it.
Let's get his shirt off, put him in a t-shirt, and make him do some running now. And we're one step towards turning into a Mission Impossible movie, which is what it felt like for the second half. And that's not a bad movie, but they set me up in the beginning to expect this like
exactly
him.
Yeah.
You know what I was expecting, and this is on me, is I expected him to outsmart the bad guy. You know,
that's what
like
I did as well.
This was like a chess match, and it was a chess match at the beginning, and every move he made, he was countered by the bad guy. And then I thought there was going to be some cooler moves, and he kind of does switch the bags for a slightly larger bag of the same model and make.
I thought that was smart. That was one of the smartest things he
because
did.
He knew it wouldn't fit in the overhead compartment and then would get checked.
It wouldn't be. It could not be a carry-on. Pew, 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 pew.
Well, I was in the carry-on section to begin with.
So you just like the little nitpicky things, but you thought that was cool and not convenient? Fuck you, sir. On behalf of our audience, fuck you.
It was clever. It was at least clever.
Luciano, just to give you a taste of you, I'm going to pretend to be you, okay?
Okay.
He switched it for a slightly larger
please stop.
How would he to know that they wouldn't let him keep it at his feet? What if the baggage above was actually loose and they would have fit an extra 2-inch bag? What if they let him carry it on his lap?
You know what the difference is what you're saying makes no sense, but let's continue the conversation.
You definitely could have stowed it underneath.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not a bus.
My grandmother knew she'd be a bus.
She needed a lot of wheels to be a bus.
I have a couple little questions. They're not patented third section questions. They're actually real questions. But I guess the first question I have is like, in general, most movies have gone out of the way in the last like decade or so to not name things or people or countries.
Right.
Is it cool to shit on the Russians again?
I think we're good for that right now.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I also I don't know how I think I like the fact that they use something that actually exists. The Novichok thing is actually a thing. Is not something they made up.
What is the bomb?
The nerve gas.
Oh,
it's an actual thing.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Of course you know that. You're on a list.
So then
I went to look for it.
Oh yeah,
because like that Wikipedia, the Wikipedia page that she looks at, I was like, that looks like an actual Wikipedia page, not a bullshit one made for movies, and it is.
So I guess then maybe it's okay because it's a real thing. So you're not shitting on the Russians. It just happens to be a thing that was made by
and
Russians.
Apparently it was what was used to kill Alexander, whatever his face
Alexander
is.
the Great.
Get killed. He died on his own. Navalny.
Navalny, yeah. He died on his own. He stabbed himself in the back 17 times.
Fell on 4 bullets.
He had a weak heart because there was a hole in it from a good bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it's the Russians, like as in the whole country, but it is like Russian. Well, in this case, the nerve gas was made by the government.
Sure, but it's a
fair
real
enough
thing. You're not
Yeah.
But it's not like back in the day where that'd be like, he's just
This is Sovietium.
yeah, or
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a big war going on in I don't know random Colombian country.
Right.
Moldakistan.
And the Russian.
Now they
Yeah.
should make up a country.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
This
fair.
communist nerve gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made with the eyeballs of American babies. That's what it needs.
Made with,
sense.
made with Lenin's blood.
That's why it's poison. Another question I have, and it's a real question: is this the deadliest potential nerve gas attack since The Rock?
Ooh.
Is that like because that's
Wasn't
like
The Rock like a
you know-
like it would have been like a huge not worldwide. I don't remember. Was it like a city that would have been?
They would have launched the missiles right and dispersed it like in the air. Just
Yeah,
like,
this is just one plane.
no, but well, I guess, but like it seems like the bomb would have dispersed it. Like because you let it off in the airport, it would have killed everybody in the airport, right? Like
Yeah,
they were
because
using it to
would
blow
get-
up the plane.
Probably would get into the vents.
Was he
and-
bluffing?
It might have been bluffing too. That
He didn't
there's
seem
that.
like the suicidal. He's doing it for money. What is blowing up the airport get him?
That's a great question. I mean, maybe he had a plan if that happened.
He had a fridge with him. That he,
You go
that he
inside.
could go inside, blow it up on the
Yeah.
outside.
It was in that backpack the girl left him. There was a portable fridge in there.
Listen, if it's good enough for Indiana Jones, it's got to stop nerve gas.
Oh no! Oh, you had to go there.
I'm picturing CGI moles or whatever the fuck that movie started with.
Yep.
Oh no! Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
I was just curious because like I can't like I'm certain there's been other action films that have used nerve gases, but like not one that like generally that's just like, oh, there's a nerve gas. Like in 24 all the time, it's like, oh, there's a nerve gas that's going to be deployed or a nuke and blah blah
Right,
blah.
right.
But they don't go into the detail of like how deadly it is and how much it's going to fuck people up, right? Like they
And
do
then
cover
in
that.
this
in
one,
The
they
Rock,
explain exactly what happened,
and they go
which
right
is-
into this.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and you don't get to see it, which is I'm cool. I didn't need to see.
Yeah, I
Jason
didn't have to
Bateman
see it. No.
melt down, but I was just curious because I couldn't think of another one since The Rock. That's like fucking
You guys remember the movie?
30 years.
I just had a blast from the past. You remember the movie Chill Factor?
No,
You guys ever see that
rings
movie?
a bell.
It's
I don't think I've watched it.
Cuba Gooding Jr. and Skeet Ulrich.
Yes, Skeet.
Jesus.
That's yeah.
Yeah, that one has a biological weapon.
But it's not the same, right? Like
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other movies where the threat isn't, because like if you look at the 80s, it's always nukes. Always 80s and 90s is always nukes. Was there something with anthrax in it? I'm sure there was.
no, I mean like Bond would be the one where I'd think, but Bond had lasers
What about-
from space.
what about-
and-
Well, yeah.
Batman 89. Just Joker gas.
Oh yeah, it's kind of a gas.
yeah, but
yeah.
but the thing is, like, they don't go into explain how deadly it is, right? They just like, oh, it's gas and it's gonna.
You're gonna turn.
Make
You're
you
gonna turn
laugh
into a
and-
big smile.
Yeah. It's not like this stuff where it's like you melt down and like it sounds like it's horrific, right? Like
Yeah.
if you get exposed to it, you die horrifically.
I mean,
Yeah.
I vaguely remember in the movie Triple X starring Xander Cage, they were trying to
Yeah.
use a nerve agent of some kind.
You know you can't fool us because we can see you looking at your phone. Right?
No, this is off the top of my head.
Top of his
I
head,
see.
everybody. Definitely not Googling biggest nerve gas movies.
Definitely
And now
not.
he's also on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the list.
So good to be here.
Well, welcome to the list.
Well, let's just get into the plot holes since
Oh,
we kind
boy.
of beat around
Plot
the bush.
hole.
Is
Is there one in
There's
this
a plot
movie?
hole in this movie? Oh, ruh-roh. Yeah, there was. And it's a patented plot hole we see often in movies. It's not a simple thing. We're just gonna blanket paint this plot hole for what it is. It's the entire airport, Los Angeles security. I don't know if you blame LAX for the LAPD
Yeah, I
or
was gonna
everybody.
say it's like what the fuck, LAX? That's
Homeland
the-
Security,
yeah,
like I
yeah.
don't know who's in charge,
TSA.
but
No one
TSA?
is.
yeah, actually, yeah, the TSA probably does the best job in the sense that they only let a nerve agent through there.
I mean, it's
screening process. Other than that,
I
it's
think
fine.
it's sometimes we'll throw shade on the police in movies being not the best. It's very apt here because this whole movie is about airport security essentially, and
They clearly wanted to show, hey, look, we did our research. This is how TSA works.
but then they also were like, but also, fuck you.
but also pew pew. But also pew pew
Also
pew.
boom,
yeah.
boom.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like the biggest one for me, I think we've covered a couple of them, but the biggest one for me, I think that just drives me nuts is the LAPD cop who shows up on the scene and takes charge for whatever reason, even though she's not
Elena?
nearly
Elena?
Ella, she's however you want to pronounce it. She is clearly not like the highest ranking officer on site, but whatever, that's fine. Movies. But when Nora and Ethan come to her,
I know what you're gonna say.
and they're like, let him escape because if you leave him here, he's going to blow up anyways. Which
It's the
whatever,
only
it's the
way.
only way.
The only
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
my boyfriend has disarmed it once before. He can do it again. But no one even talks about the fact that the plane has left. It's on the fucking tarmac, and all she had to do is be like, "How's he gonna get?" It's like talk about it for 5 seconds. Just
That's the thing.
Anything.
Just
Work
make
through
it,
the logic.
Yeah, exactly. Make it make sense. It's like, okay, we're gonna have the plane like hang out for a bit so he can get in, and then we'll let it go.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna race it until like, oh, is it gonna fly? Is it not gonna fly? Like, why? That was so
no one has
unnecessary.
any idea. No one even knows if he gets on the plane.
I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
and there's so many holes with this one little thing. For one, you're right. Like, why not just tell the plane to delay? I would love if they had the line like, "Well, if we tell the plane to delay, he'll get suspicious and blow it up." Like, suspicious when a plane gets delayed. Every plane gets delayed.
he would be suspicious if it doesn't get delayed.
Yeah, I was just like, that alone is like, yeah, like just tell them, oh, sorry, we're having a mechanical issue. We'll be right up. It'll be off in 5 minutes. Just sit back, relax.
Yeah.
Thank you for flying in Air Qantas. And while that's happening, at least have the cop join the guy and be like, okay, you can do it. If you're the only one who knows how to disarm, fine, I'm coming with you because you're a fucking civilian or like you're in the airport and I have a gun and I'm a police officer.
We'll go together. You will go together. You disarm the fucking thing. I'll arrest the guy.
Exactly. Like
or whatever.
Like,
And then something happens where he's only able to get on the plane and it starts moving. Like whatever, you can fuck it up so she can't get on the plane.
Or like he goes to the cockpit and he's like, take off this fucking plane, and he like kind of hijacks it, but maybe that would have been too terroristy and
sure, but like there's
liked
ways to just. You spent so much time in the first half of the movie, at least for not for Luciano, for Spencer and I, trying to make things plausible, and then
they were trying for me too. They just failed a little bit more.
right, but they threw all plausibility out the window.
Yeah.
When they just let a civilian, a guy who's been a TSA agent for like 2 years,
bad one.
is the bad one,
a bad one at
yes,
that.
Yeah,
by all accounts,
like a very mediocre one. And he just like he runs through the airport through like security areas and whatever. People just look at him running, going to takes on one of those carts that I think they use for luggage, right? And
drives
just like
onto the
nobody
tarmac.
does anything. Yeah.
So like,
not
see, Ethan?
one security guard or anybody. Hey, he's gonna have a good time. Like no one. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what airports are like, but there's no cops and no security anywhere.
famously, airports don't have much police officers.
No, especially not after 9/11.
Famously,
No, right?
there's not much security at LAX, the most popular, one of the biggest airports in the world. And not only that, like I think one of the guys actually like offers to help him move a body. He said, "Let me help you with that."
Yeah, but he's just a baggage guy. Like he's not anybody.
Yeah.
He's not even a security guard.
There's nobody down there,
And it's funny because again, this is another thing that they could have shown that he didn't necessarily have to suck at being a TSA agent, right? He could have just been like not necessarily the greatest, but like someone who like could have said or shown that he knows everybody around the airport. So then it would make sense that they would let him through because they know him. No,
it was
just fucking let
a
him
weird
go.
choice making him like not give a shit about his job because.
Yeah.
And then decide to give a shit on the day of.
Yeah, I mean, it would have made sense if, as a character, you're like, oh, because the whole thing was like he's running away from his dream,
Problems,
right?
yeah.
But it would have made sense if he like actually was trying at the airport because he's trying to convince himself that that's what he wants. It's like you started at the baggage area. You know every inch of this airport. You know, why do you keep like
Right.
obsessing over this job? This isn't what you wanted. And then that would explain why he's like a good guy to be doing it, because he knows how to get around and avoid cameras and
They really traded on the idea that he tried to be a cop and failed as a justification for why he's John McClane 2.0.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the moment when it showed like there was, you wanted to be like the whole conversation on the bus on the way there. It was like, oh, okay, this is going to justify him being able to do all of the action stuff later,
Which is fine. I'm
sure.
fine with that. You know, it's better than just having a guy be able to fucking do shit without any training.
Yeah. But they made that the only really like heavy or like the only thing in his personality that has any gravitas is the whole I'm a failed cop or whatever. And there's other things he could have been like super good at his job. He could have been
This is one of the
a
things
good
that
boyfriend.
no. That's
don't do that
he's
either.
a man. He can't do that. No, but like it is one of the things that kind of annoyed me about the movie is it spent, in my opinion, entirely too long setting up these characters and
Yes.
giving them emotional stakes. To me, it's like it's not wrong to give them emotional stakes, but a bad movie has to like. It's okay. This is the time to set up everybody, and this is who they're going to be for the rest of the movie. They're going to have no more
Yeah.
character development at
Exactly.
any
You
point
can't
in
have it like
time.
unveiled throughout the movie, like subtly.
Yeah.
It's got to be like,
And also, whenever we need to ignore whatever we set up at this part, we're gonna just do
Yeah,
it because
100%.
yeah.
it's like the classic like trope. Like guy walks in, he's like, "Hey, how's your week?" He's like, "I spent the weekend with my 3 kids. I'm 1 day from retirement, and I can't wait for my dream holiday." And it's like everything about the character said in like 2 sentences,
Yeah.
and then
And the guy goes,
that's
and
it.
I also love coffee. And then like in the end, there's like,
You-
he knows that these beans are not dark roasted,
Yeah.
therefore is the villain. What? Like what the
It's just all
fuck?
set up in one
Yeah.
sentence.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
funny because they later on in the movie, and this is another like it's not there's a nitpick in here, but like the gun that the traveler has, it's like
Right.
plastic, right? If you shoot too many, he says, if you shoot it too many times in a row, it's gonna
It's gonna
explode.
blow up in your face. Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you, like the explosion was real, but also very sad. That like that wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting it to just like explode, not just like break apart like plastic pieces.
And then-
so while it was real, it was like underwhelming, and it killed a guy. Like
Definitely didn't seem like it was a
Well,
killing
it was-
blow, but it's
He
yeah.
wasn't lucky. I think he just like got him in
yeah.
but
It's fine,
But,
but, like-
yeah, it was very anticlimactic.
But
I
they
agree.
did a good job of like giving a gun and saying this thing can like giving you the
a literal Chekhov's gun almost.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you do it, right? You say something important and it might come back into play.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You don't just like in the cop station at the beginning of the movie. This is a plastic PVC gun. You see them all the time at airports. Keep your eyes open for them. If they shoot too many bullets, it will explode.
and shoot you
Like-
in the neck,
And
and we'll
Yeah.
kill you if
No,
your
and-
name's
and-
Mateo.
yeah.
And then they show someone shooting, like having like a full on like gunfight with it and nothing happens. And then when it has to happen for the plot, it explodes. So this is better. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so what, like, we're talking about these plot holes with airport security. We're talking about the pre show. Spencer brought it up. There's this guy who's in charge of the airport. I don't know if he's LAPD or whatever, airport security, but he's basically like, well, we'll shut down Northwind Terminal, but I ain't shutting down this whole airport. It's Christmas, and we got these passengers out of here.
Yeah,
I'm not shutting down LAX on Christmas
just
Day. No, let's leave it open when there's more people that die.
I wish every plane I've ever took had a guy running it as dedicated as that guy was to
Yeah.
getting those planes off. Because I've had planes that have been delayed. I've had planes canceled for much less than a bomb
Oh, yeah.
going off in a on my plane.
But it's only on Terminal 7, Spencer. If you're on Terminal 6 or 9 or
Terminal 7.
Don't you know that all terminals are like very far away from each other, and so
And
if a
they're,
bomb
like,
goes off in one, it will not
physically-
touch any
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
physically and tightly isolated, nothing can get from one to the other. Especially not on the tarmac where everything is the same.
I mean, and that was probably my biggest, like, straight up. I guffawed when I heard him be like, "We're gonna okay." The guy running the airport and all security. We know there's a nerve bomb in this airport, but we're like 90% sure it's in Terminal 7. So we'll shut that one down, but everything else is going to keep going. We're not going to tell anybody. We're not going to. I'm like,
We're also going to make sure passengers can get from Terminal 7 to any other terminal they want to get
yeah,
to.
of course. We can't have, people
Just
need to
in
get off
case.
their flight. They need to transition. We can't have everybody be so, we don't want them annoyed at the airline.
No, God, no.
I mean, it was just like they like. Can you imagine if there was a bomb threat? Even if there was a phone call to an airport, the whole airport,
The entire fucking
Yeah.
thing would shut
You
down.
know?
The whole, like, it would be evacuated and flights would be grounded forever.
I was
Forget
actually
it.
thinking how interesting this movie would have been if it was like set pre 9/11, and it was like
Well, if separate 9/11, it would have been a 20-minute video because the guy would have just gone through with the
He's
thing.
Like, walked by, hey, Bill. He's like, hey.
What'd you have in there? Nothing dangerous, right? No, of course not. All right, bye.
Nah.
Good. I was worried there for a second. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's ticking, but you said it's fine. So
It's just my grandfather's clock.
yeah.
Inside that tiny bag, yes. Oh, okay then.
Yeah, so I mean, in this modern day, with everything everyone knows about airports, that was just like in my opinion, you had one way to go. Like either only Ethan knows about it, and then so all the planes are going off.
And that's where I thought they were going, because like with the way that he was setting it up,
Yeah.
he was clearly saying, okay, nobody can know about this except for you, and you can't say anything until the fucking plane is in the air.
because that's
That made sense. And then they just threw it out the window. It's like, I'm going to go talk to you. I'm going to almost kill you in the bathroom. And now I'm going to activate the thing in the middle of the airport just because I can, even though I would die as well.
that was because he
but
had a
I'm
gun
not.
on him.
Well, yeah. But like what he did as a retaliation, like when he activated the thing, right? It was like, what was his, like, he was banking on Ethan being able to do a lot. Like what he did basically
Yeah.
to go in and, lock the door on the
I think
baggage
that's fair.
thing, right?
To call him on the bluff of him like setting it off, like that's like he's playing on the idea that Ethan doesn't want to die and he doesn't want his girlfriend to die. And that makes sense, but that was not a non-complicated. Like it was like the instructions.
What he needed to do.
The instructions were simple, but
Yeah.
like the ability to do it was extremely high. Right? You have to be calm. You have to be like
Yeah.
um
You have
do
to
it
have
in a-
some
in a-
time because
yeah.
things, right? Yeah.
yeah. So like it's like that's a huge risk to take, and stay at the airport, basically.
Yeah, and he could have probably set that up for more than 10 minutes, I would assume, from the cell phone, right? And like say, what if Ethan fucks up?
Yeah, I guess
What
you
would
could just
have
turn it
happened?
off.
No, he couldn't, because when it was in manual mode, it was in manual mode, right? Because they made sure to show it so they could show it in the plane too, that he couldn't, like,
But why was it on manual mode?
when he lifts the thing, it becomes manual mode, right?
Yeah,
But then at that point, it was like a minute left. And it was like, okay, what if this kid can't do it? Now I'm gonna die too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like
Like it was one thing to make a
The bluff.
planned gamble, like if there was
Yeah.
some sort of like fail safe or whatever. That one he made on the
so
fly.
you think he could have turned it off before he opened it from his phone?
Maybe.
I think so.
So why didn't he do that?
That would
Why
make
didn't he
sense.
just start it and be like, "Give me the gun," or I'm going to.
This isn't even about airport security,
Yeah.
but you are right that
Yeah,
like
it's
to set it off and to only have to rely on this Ethan character who he really doesn't know anything about to go
Yeah.
and turn it off seems like an extremely. I mean, I guess he would have killed his target, but he never left the airport, so he would have died too.
well, I don't even know if it was the congresswoman there already.
Hey, who knows? But one would assume because otherwise, why would you? Why would you risk? Like, I give him that benefit of the doubt. If he's going to blow it up,
Right,
he's at least
right.
going to get his job done. But to take back to security, so we've identified the cop is bad, and she wants to hire him. Whatever. We've identified that the head of security at LAX very passionate about plane flights.
Very passionate
Getting out on
about
time.
the
On
well-being of the passengers. Yes.
Yeah. Can we talk about the Watcher? I know Luciano brought it up earlier, but a man came into an airport,
Right.
chased people,
Oh yeah.
stabbed a man, and
Oh yeah. It's just like choop. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be cool, and I was like, okay, so they're definitely gonna stop him now.
yeah, and then continues to chase the woman, gets into a car, drives after her, and there's not one cop, not one security guard that's like, "Hey, I should go check into
Hold
this."
on, what's going on here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did Jason Bateman also kill a guy? Like at one point, he was
Yes.
like walking behind the scenes of the airport, like just walking around
Yes.
with.
He just walking around
He
like
killed
he
the
did
cop.
on the plane too. He did
got
on
a-
the plane
to get a
too. He
gun.
just walked to the cargo area of the
Yeah, just
plane.
walking
No
around.
stewardess or
Yeah.
steward person stop him. Yeah, yeah.
That at that point was the part I think was the first point where I was like come on, like how about you
Yeah.
just walking around back like in civilian clothes in the back of an airport? Like I'm pretty sure.
And the cop had a gun, right? And he's like, "You can't be here. This is a restricted area." And I was like, "Okay, what is he gonna do?" And then it just shows him with like blood in his hand.
Classic.
And, like,
We don't want to shoot this. We don't got time.
Yeah.
Too much money.
we ain't got
Hard
time
cut.
for this. Yeah.
Cops
but-
inside out. gun in his hand.
It's fine.
He did something. Okay, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think that's the movie was interesting when they both had constraints, right? Like he was matching Ethan and keeping him at bay. Ethan would think of something to do and then try to do it. They catch him. But
Right.
when you take away the villain's constraints of, well, he's in the airport, so he's in the airport, so he can see stuff, and the watcher is tapped into the cameras, and so they
Right.
set up this like level of abilities they have, and then
Yeah.
for the third act, they're just like, well, we got to break all those abilities so we can get our action sequence done, and that's when your interest starts to wane because you're like, all the rules you set up and told me about, you've thrown them
they
out the
don't fucking
window, but you haven't
matter.
explained how they've been
Yeah,
thrown
at
out the
least
window.
have like the traveler guy like take the cop's uniform or something so he can
Exactly.
move
That's what I
around
was thinking.
without
Yeah.
being stopped or like questioned.
Mhm.
But like I've been to an airport as a non-worker, you can't do anything.
If
Yeah.
you try, like if you walk to like a place where you're not supposed to even walk close to, security looks at you.
Mhm.
Is that like they don't necessarily stop you, but they're like you can tell they're paying attention,
They shoot you
as
with a
they
plastic
should
gun.
because they're security.
I mean, and on top of all of this, like this is all security based. When that one guy just dies, who like he poisons
Which
him.
one?
Well,
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he has a heart
He has a
attack,
heart
so
attack.
no one knows at the
But
time.
even so, like you think they wouldn't check what happened on security cameras at all if they see a guy?
Oh, I mean, he bumped into a guy.
All right, Luciano, it's fine. He had a heart
You know
attack.
what?
He
And
died.
what
Let
is
it
with
go.
the shortcuts on their keyboards?
They didn't have any. That was the
That
problem.
was the problem.
So one thing I have a question for, and it's maybe not a plot hole, and it might be traveling down the Luciano complaint area. I have no idea. But I am curious, like, if you put like a bomb through the security thing, you could see the scanner being like, this is probably a bomb. This is bad, blah, blah, blah.
Right? Wouldn't there alarms be alarms? I thought
like-
of that.
Shouldn't it shouldn't just be up to one guy and one machine, right? Like,
Yeah,
shouldn't,
exactly.
Shouldn't the supervisor be like, hey, supervisor, there's something really suspicious on line 3. Take a look.
I mean,
Shouldn't Hank have seen it in his like fucking little podium?
yeah,
Command
I'm
thing?
tower?
pretty sure that there's
Yeah,
like
command
people, like that screen is being cloned and being watched by people in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if something that dangerous, like all the red signs, like there'd be maybe not like an alarm that you can hear in the airport, but like the LAPD at the airport would be like, "Hey, fuckers!"
Fuckers.
Yeah, and
this is a bomb.
And it would at least like be like piped through somewhere to say, hey, there's this dangerous thing going on there, and nobody's stopping it
Yeah,
because that's worse, right?
Yes.
It was like that person on terminal whatever machine 4 like is looking at this and isn't stopping it, right?
yeah.
So yeah, you're
I
right.
think that is
I hadn't
borderline
even thought of that.
Luciano nitpicky, but also probably valid, like real life. But like, I'll admit, I don't know that enough.
Yeah, it's
to
more
let
of a
it slide.
curiosity. I'm willing to let it slide, but it's just like it seems like we've had enough bombs and bad things happen on airplanes that you'd want to err on the side of caution
Yeah,
with
it's
those
probably
little
not just like
protections.
one guy like looking at the screen without any like automation or like computers like double checking and or at least having multiple eyes on it. Most likely, but I would let that one slide if as like
I'm just asking
as a
questions.
plot hole because I don't know for certain. I do know for certain that if they knew there was a bomb in the airport, their planes would not be going off. I know that it doesn't
Yeah,
matter if it's a nuke. There wouldn't be like letting it fly.
This is the perfect example of like what is something that seems plausible. The scanning is like, I guess that could happen, and you just let it go.
Yeah.
Versus like They're not gonna be like fly all the other planes. Fuck it.
or like just go wherever you want in the airport. Nothing's gonna happen to you.
It would work if the guy running the airport, it was like the guy in Airplane who's like, I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. He's like,
Yeah.
shut down Terminal 7, okay?
Yeah.
Is that good enough? No.
Yeah. Like he can be incompetent at his job, but you need to show me he's bad at his job a couple of times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not like he's a gruff captain. It's just like, fuck it, we're flying all the planes. They're not shutting down Christmas.
Oh, you know what?
It's like, show me you're dumb.
You know what? I just fixed this movie. They have a scene
Yeah.
where it's like he looks at his phone and his wife is kidnapped as well.
Yeah,
And
that's fine.
his- and-
Do one more.
Yeah.
I actually thought, I thought that Mateo was in like part of the crew, and then
yeah.
finding out that he wasn't was actually a cool surprise.
Well, that's why I thought a
Yeah.
cool twist would have been Jason Bateman
Yeah.
also had someone he loved kidnapped.
Yes.
Was
Yep.
right-
And
the guy-
then that
the guy he's
person-
working for also had his loved one kidnapped, and it just keeps going, and there's no real start.
It keeps going until Vladimir Putin. I want to see. I will kill your bear, and I will kill your deer, and I will kill all of your animals if you don't do this. Oh no, please!
It keeps
But
going.
then it turns out it's Vladimir Putin's kid.
Oh.
No, it's the bear that he rode.
Yeah, well,
that
that's
one
the kid
time.
and then the bear.
No, it keeps going until it's Ethan is the original one.
Oh no!
Ethan, yeah.
It turns back. It goes around.
It's phone threatception. And
I think Ethan's just like, I just wanted you to some guy to make me a grilled cheese sandwich.
this was an Uber order to start.
How did we get here?
Who do I have to threat to get a fucking grilled sandwich?
I just like
Grilled cheese sandwich. Yeah.
Anyways, that the security it's just the whole last half, maybe the last third of the movie, just where like the rules of
Yeah.
life and like
That they established that. I think that's worse because
Yes.
they go through so much trouble to establish that how everything works, and then they just throw it out the window.
yeah, it's there's I'm trying to remember because you're saying there's a distinct moment where it all changes, and it's not as early as when he first sees Jason Bateman kill the guy.
No, it unravels. I think when after that fight they have in the bathroom, that Ethan goes inside and like points the gun to Phil and all that stuff. I think it's there.
And I think it's the second that he like loses connection with Jason Bateman on the phone, and then he starts running around everywhere, and then it just becomes like
Yeah.
like just ridiculous.
yeah, because he like when they shut the airport down, for some reason he doesn't have to do his job anymore. Like
Yeah, there is
he
also
vanishes
that.
from his post and no one knows where he is. He's just gone.
Well, no, he stopped. Like Phil stops all of the machines because they're doing bag searches, right? So
Yeah.
then he doesn't have to do his job as much.
Just watch his boss get
Yeah,
killed.
surely like when there's a bomb threat, they don't need as many TSA agents working.
No, but TSA
Yes, they
agents
do,
would,
and don't
would
call
go
me
and
sure.
do other things.
No. If
No? Okay,
you
my
work at
bad.
security at an airport and there's a bomb threat, you have lunch.
That's when you work the
have
least.
lunch.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah.
It's lunchtime. Everybody knows that. And then you take dinner too.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
And then you take a nap like Hank.
You like the,
I like
the
how we keep calling him
Hank
Hank.
from Breaking Bad. For all of you
Hank
listeners
knows what
who
he
are
did.
confused.
so like is that on the bingo card?
What
Nerve
is?
agent bomb.
What bingo card?
You didn't.
For what?
They were playing contraband bingo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't think it was. I don't think.
Well, also
nerve
it got
gas
through.
contraband.
So if it was on your bingo card and you didn't win because Ethan let
Yeah.
it through,
I thought that was funny.
a dick move.
The bingo thing was
I
funny.
wonder what
Yeah.
we should ask. What is on that card? Perhaps later.
perhaps.
Just saying.
Just saying. Okay, we got a few minutes here. Can we tidy this up at all? Like we talked about a few things, but what can and obviously we're not rewriting the script, but like the one tweak we had where the cop went with Ethan and like was with
Yeah.
him when he tried to get on the plane to
and
like
the traveler being able to somehow get like access to like a uniform and a card from someone who would have more access to the airport.
well, what's her
that
face
could
dropped a bag for him for a parachute. She could have also dropped off another
Right?
bag
Yeah.
of like
Yeah,
security.
it could have been the
passes.
same thing. Yeah.
Or maybe
Yeah.
when they killed Hank, he somehow gets his hands on his stuff because he was like the head guy.
Yeah, but Hank is not the same size as Jason Bateman.
No.
How dare you?
Actually, in that one scene when they show him like full profile, it looked like he ate. Jason.
Come on.
I'm sorry, but it does.
Come on. What are we doing?
No, but I like that would be too high profile. I think you don't want to get like the head of security's badge, or you want to get someone who has access but isn't going to be like super visible. I don't think. Although with the security in this movie,
it doesn't matter. It's all automated. You scan, you walk through.
No one knew he was dead. It's fine.
yeah. Well, someone's right. He had opportunity.
I mean,
with the girl with the bag, or even after he killed the cop, or
like
something.
speaking of security, what did they do with his body?
Whose body?
Hank's
I don't know.
body?
It's in Albuquerque.
They hid it.
shipped
They hid it behind a bunch of bags. Didn't you see?
They
Yeah.
just hit him behind a bunch of bags. That's fine. Nobody looks at those. That's our stash of bags.
Also, corpses notoriously do not stink up the place
No.
after a
Never.
few hours in the heat.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Put him in the airplane fridge. It's airtight.
The other one.
Yeah, they're all airtight.
It'll be fine.
I mean, yeah, I think that sums it up. I mean, that is a true plot hole because it's like one of those things that just took me out of the movie quite a bit.
Yes.
Because I was just constantly
Like
thinking
it wouldn't happen that
yeah,
way. Right?
like when he's driving
Yeah.
down the tarmac on that fucking car to a moving airplane, like that alone would be like an international incident. You know, like they
Yes.
would like just be like, like there would be so many police cars there if there's a guy driving next to a moving plane, jumping from it. They've got a million eyes on those things, especially as they're like taking off.
So this is exactly it. So I every year I watch Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 2 at Christmas because the Christmas movies, fuck you guys. And so I watch a lot of Die Hard 2. And
Nobody
the,
disagrees.
the thing about fuck you, I'm just
We're all
getting ahead
men
of it.
here.
The thing, thank you. The thing about Die Hard 2 is all the stuff that happens at that airport is the airport is shut down.
Yeah.
The airport
It's
is not
different.
working.
Yeah.
And when
And
John
it's pre
McClane
9/11.
it is also pre 9/11. When John McClane flies a helicopter out to stop the plane and the terrorists leaving, there's no other planes on the field. There's nothing on the field because the terrorists have shut the airport down. And so it's more believable that he would be able to do this because the airport's already fucked and there's nothing happening versus this is an active airport. And also, like a helicopter, theoretically, it could catch up to a plane on the ground along the tarmac. And so the plan seems plausible, whereas in this movie, it's like no one has told him they're going to hold the plane for him. He's just going to drive out there and hope he can get on. Like the plausibility just falls apart, right?
And they say, yeah, let the plane go. How do you know he got to the plane? You don't.
Yeah.
I would have loved if they just throughout this movie, every time something happened where like security should have done something, it just kept cutting back to that guy running the airport, blowing it off over and over again.
Yes.
You know, be like, there's
Yes.
a man driving up to the airplane in a car. He's jumping onto the riding gear or the landing gear.
He is not going to
It is
ruin
Christmas and this plane is taking off. But sir,
Yeah.
I said it's Christmas.
No, it's better if he keeps giving excuses, right? It goes like,
Yeah.
well, I know he's driving a car, like a vehicle that's supposed to be in the tarmac, so that's okay.
a plane car.
It's a plane car. It's okay. I'm not shutting this airport
I'm
on Christmas
pretty
for
sure
that.
he works here.
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
I'm like 60%
We
sure.
wouldn't let anybody
no,
who's
look,
not
that's
secure.
that's Joe. I play Yahtzee with him every
Yeah.
day.
Plays Yahtzee every day.
Joe and I do. It's,
That's the
it's a
craziest
Yahtzee
thing you
league.
said, sir.
We're in a Yahtzee league together. Don't question me.
Yeah.
Put that
Christmas.
man under arrest for that one statement.
He's out of here. Get rid of him.
just like the entire time, like every time there's like gunshots going off in the fucking luggage area.
and-
Sir,
yeah,
there's a
there's-
gunfight off in the luggage area. God damn it,
Well,
it's
there's-
Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, where is it written that you can't have a gunfight there?
Show me in the rule book where a dog can't play basketball. I mean, where you can't have a gunfight in an airport.
Yeah.
Fine. What luggage area it is? Fine. Shut that one luggage area off.
Yeah.
But the rest of it stays open.
Yeah,
Sir, they found a nuke in one of the bags. Well, just lock that bag on the airtight container.
Yeah.
Let everything else to go through. But sir, airtight things don't do anything against nukes. Shut up! This is Christmas. We're going to keep on. Yeah.
Shut that one bag down,
Yeah.
but the rest of it stays open.
Exactly.
I want that cut. That fixes the movie.
I'd watch that movie.
It also changed the genre, but I'd be here for it.
No, it's fine. It'd be a better movie. That would be tense for sure. Let's ask some fun questions. I think we've tackled our plot holes and other various grievances against this movie, and let's try some fun stuff. Hey, the Watcher is fucking weird, right? He's a little creepy.
Oh yes.
Can you explain to me how the Watcher wasn't caught on January 6th? Like, not this one, but like the one where they stormed the
I
Capitol?
mean, I think he was doing something
okay.
bad this January 6th too.
Yeah.
probably.
I mean,
But it was illegal.
Oh, he's dead now.
it's true.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So he wasn't caught on this one because he was
Yeah.
dead. But let's talk about the other one.
I don't think he was at January 6th because he was skinning animals in his basement
Alive.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
to make pelts to wear to January 6th. Because that was kind of a thing happening.
And he got
got-
carried
carried
Well,
away.
he wanted to go. He wanted
He
to go
missed
in
it.
like matching outfits with the shaman.
With the shaman guy, yeah.
He showed up on January 7th.
Yeah,
God
wearing
damn
all
it!
animal
Why
pelts.
does everything take so long?
He said, I thought I got. Oh no! Oopsie
Oh.
daisy!
It happened again.
This was not a leap year.
How am I going to make America great again without my animal skins?
Yeah.
And then he pulls out a giant sniper rifle
So
and
it's like,
shoots a squirrel.
oh, there I go killing again.
Oh, well.
I think that explains why he wasn't there because I can't think of any other
Yeah.
logical reason.
No, God, no.
Not one.
You definitely wanted to be there.
He wanted to
Oh
be
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, that much we know. He
Sure.
would have given anything.
Maybe he was watching Mike Pence's house to kidnap his family in case he wouldn't.
Oh,
Maybe that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Not because anybody told him to do it, just because he's a fucking weirdo and wanted to do
No,
it.
he believes in freedom and he fights for
yeah.
it
Yeah.
with his animal.
The
powers.
glee,
animal belt.
that he had on his face every time he turned around the car and thought he would find Nora, was
I
like,
will say,
what the fuck is wrong with you,
you guys
man?
probably don't know this, but I watched The Penguin, fantastic show, and this actor is in The Penguin, and he is also a very skeevy, like guy that looks like he skins animal and wears them
It's
to
the
January
mustache.
6th.
It's
So,
the mustache.
Yeah, the
he's
mustache
definitely
is-
getting what's that called?
Typecast.
as animal skinning
Type-
January 6th endorsing weirdo,
Oh god.
and I'm here for it.
He was
Guns
in
rights activist.
Sons of Anarchy.
Oh.
That
It'd be
tracks.
great if it was just listed as animal skinner. We just
No,
absolutely nailed
his
it.
character name was Juan Carlos Juice Ortiz.
He's
Juice.
juicing animals.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a thing.
Okay.
Anyways, next question. Hey, the airtight fridge that Jason Bateman dies in
Mhm.
through an accidental death. What are those things normally used for when they're not holding nerve gas?
Mm.
I actually saw
They have
there
two.
was a
They have
font
two.
on there. I don't know if you read it. It was a Luciano tank because of his extreme body odor.
Okay.
Oh, I
Wow.
thought it was gonna be because I want things to be airtight in my
No,
movies.
no, it's because you smell.
That was a
like
better
shit.
joke.
These
No, I
jokes. These are both
I
bad
know.
jokes. You guys want to try
Yeah.
again? Take another run at it?
That is,
Why?
everybody knows that every flight someone famously shits their pants, and
Right.
if you're not the one, if you're not seeing it, then you're the one doing
You're
it.
the one doing it.
And speaking as a man,
And what they do, they
Who
put
does it?
put you in the one.
yeah, they put you in the tank. They don't clean your hand. As a man who's been in the tank a few times, I know my way around the airtight tank. Okay,
The tank. It's not even
Nah,
a,
the
like
tank.
a fridge. It's a tank at this point.
when I walk in, they go, Spencer, should we take you straight to the tank?
Straight to solitary.
I say, you let me get there on my own. Now bring me my cream soup.
That's one idea. That's not. Yeah, I could see that being very useful on It's a pretty long flight, right? Go LAX to
It don't matter the flight length. I'm
Dallas?
getting there.
Okay, great.
Yeah. What else could they use that for? Now I all have all ideas I have now are shit related.
Yeah,
It's the only
that's
answer. I mean,
Yeah.
that is. I mean,
Because like the other option would be to do pickles of something.
what?
That's
What?
that's what you
What?
use. That's
Well,
what
I
you
guess-
use.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like do they taste better? Like if you pickle at 30,000
Height.
in the air.
It's like a side business they're running.
Yeah,
Oh, I see. And then
So
they
the-
can like market it like pickled at 30,000 feet.
yeah. So they pick up all the stuff from Washington. That's why it's empty, and they pickle it on the way back to LA.
Okay.
I hope they don't
I mean, it
use
makes
it
as
after
much
I've
sense as
been in
anything
there.
else.
Listen, why do you think it's got that special flavor?
Oh God. Well,
Yeah, I think that's all I have.
Well, next question. There's no reason to stay here. Ethan doesn't become a cop because he refused to say that he saw a crime. And it's kind of alluded to by Jason Bateman in the sense that his father did something, but they're never specific about it. What do you think Ethan actually saw?
You're saying what did Ethan's father do that he didn't report?
Well, it doesn't have to be
I
his
think it's
father.
pretty
that was
clear.
just, yeah.
I think
Oh,
Did he shit his pants?
no, no. That's what the tank's for. No,
Okay.
he was busting a drug den
right.
with his partner, and then he was.
Wait, but his dad famously didn't get into this.
This was his like cadet run. He was getting shown the ropes by another cop, and then there was somebody who was doing drugs.
Right.
He took a line,
Mm-hmm.
and then the teacher cop told him he can't do that.
Uh-huh.
So he
Right.
shot the cop, shot the drug dealer, put the drug dealer's gun in the cop's hand. The cops, he put his gun.
Yeah.
This was a struggle. He pinned it on each other. There's another person there, and he said, "If you ever tell anyone what you saw here,
Mm.
you know."
Yeah.
Gonna-
Wait,
And
was
did the other?
Ethan the other person?
No, the dad. The dad was.
No. Ethan's doing this.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, this was before he became a cop.
Okay, great.
The cop was his dad. Sorry, I didn't say that.
Sorry. Yeah. What What?
His dad was what?
His
Okay.
dad's the cop. What aren't you understanding?
No, he's not.
He shot his dad.
He's not a
He
cop.
shot the drug dealer. He took the drugs. He pinned it on each other.
Right.
Right.
Equals profit.
But was he working for the LA cops at the time?
Who, Ethan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what the fuck is going
Okay.
on?
He wasn't a cop yet. This was his first day.
I really want to yes and this, but his dad lives in New Jersey.
No. I see. This is where you're. I understand why you're confused.
Yeah.
The cop that he killed wasn't his dad. That was his nickname for the cop. He called him. He called
Right,
him
right.
Daddy-O.
Daddy-O.
Sergeant Dad.
Yeah. Daddy-O. And he'd say, "Oh, Daddy-O, let's go hit this scene." And then when he got
He was
there,
Italian.
he
yeah.
thought because his name was Daddy-O that he was cool and he liked
Yeah.
to get wet. But he didn't. So he had to go King Kong on him. And then that's when he when they said, they're like, "You lied about this crime scene. What you said doesn't make any sense."
Yeah, well, that part I agree with.
And then
Sure.
that's when he said, "It may have been a coke-induced dream. I don't know." And then that's when they took him off the case. Famously, even though
Okay.
he wasn't a cop, he was on the case.
Yeah, this is just an exam he took, but yeah, I
It
see
was
how
all a
it works
test.
out. Listen, I believe you, Spencer. I think this is
It
the answer. But
happened.
in the interest of fairness, I just want to hear what Luciano might have to say on the subject.
Oh, I think it's a much more egregious crime. I think he saw his dad take 11 items to the 10-item lane in the supermarket and never reported
You know what? That's my fault, Spencer.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Now we know
That's
what
on
really
me.
happened.
That's I should never have done that. I apologize. Next question.
That's on you, Daddy-O.
Whoa. Nora. Nora is a character in this movie. She is the girlfriend and baby mama to Ethan. She's clearly written. Her character was clearly written by AI because her character makes no sense. Well, her
She makes
character
perfect sense as a poorly written
It's her
woman.
relationship.
As a prototype of a stereotypical woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
The stereotypical like dream
Love
woman
interest.
of a person who doesn't have a real relationship. You know what I mean?
or
Yeah.
or like a dream with life. And so anyway, so the point is, let's get a real AI in here to write her character to make her more realistic. I was thinking we could use Popcorn GPT to rewrite
Okay.
this.
Okay.
So what do you what are we gonna get out from? Type it all in. What's it gonna feed back to us?
Are you gonna just type in like his lines and then she writes it back, or Popcorn GPT
Well, it's like-
writes it
more
back,
like-
or
I think it's more
What
like
was
you
the
write.
prompt? What was the prompt?
You write, yeah. What's the prompt? Well, not the prompt, but like, what prompt are we going to use to get a realistic version of Nora, not the one that's like, "I love you, you even though you don't have a job or
yeah.
a dream or a career," and like, there's no evidence of a relationship at your house
so
apparently.
in the movie, like example, he says, I don't like my job, I'm not happy, blah blah, and she says, just. I don't care if we ever have any money. I just want you to follow your dream. Don't care about our baby. Don't care about me. It's all about you and your happiness.
Oh no.
So the real version, or at least Popcorn GPT, I think would be a little more along the lines of, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? Like, we have a baby coming? I'm all supportive of you following your dream of being a cop. You clearly don't like this job. Let's figure this out, because we only have a couple like months before we still have to start planning, and I don't want you complaining about this shitty ass job you have, and then when you could have had this opportunity to go for the job you love. Like, we need money, but I also can't have you being working this dead ass job. Fucking figure your shit out.
I was gonna say that was gonna be you have to figure your shit out. That would be the first thing.
You're fucking 35-year-old man, baby.
And then Nora is the one who's threatening Jason Bateman's life.
So she's threatening Ethan. She's like, "Put this on."
She just takes out the Jason Bateman mask. It's been Nora the whole time.
It was me the whole time.
I mean, that's the twist. She puts the earpiece in, like throughout the whole thing. She's like, "You're gonna let this package through," and like, I love you, but you gotta figure it out. Did you say you love me? Oops.
No, I didn't. What are you talking about?
Before you come home, you can pick up the groceries. Because it'd be nice.
Also, please remember to take the garbage out. For the love of God.
Just one time.
Yeah.
And blow up the plane, whatever. All that too.
Yeah. Blah blah. Okay. No.
I think that's a good rewrite.
Okay. Different question entirely. The studio's dead set on a sequel
Of course they are.
because this has been a smash hit. What's it going to be about? Who's going to star in it?
Carry two on. Two carry on.
No.
To carry two
Two
on?
carry two on.
Check in. It's check in.
No.
No.
Yeah.
That's stupid. To
Yeah,
carry two
like
on's
this
a way
mo-
better title.
Oh yeah. It also makes much more sense.
We're so on the same page, man. It's so much
So
better.
the villain will be Will Arnett, of course.
I could see that.
Has to be.
What are you gonna do?
Okay.
You're gonna bring this bag on. Bring this bag with your Dodge Chevy Caravan. 2.4 liters. What's the bag that you check in called?
Checked.
That's what I said. That's what the
Yeah.
name of the
So
movie
what's the
is.
opposite of? Sorry, you're not understanding me. There's a carry-on bag, and then what's the bags that go
Yeah.
under the plane called?
Those are checked.
Those are
checked in.
check bags.
Oh, the movie should be
Those
called
are checked
Checked Bags.
Fuck you.
Two checked, two bags.
To check to bags.
Yes, we got there. It wasn't easy,
There you go.
but we got there.
Yeah. Great.
And this one can be in an airport. Has to be in an airplane because following the Die Hard, wannabe scenario.
So then it's obviously
Or it's in a spaceport.
we have
Or a spaceport. Yeah.
Ethan. I like spaceport. That's good. Ethan comes back obviously
As
and
a
I think-
cop now.
as a cop, but I think it's a buddy cop situation. He partners with his buddy Jason, who he got fired because he's still a TSA.
They
agent.
didn't. I thought you said they just didn't rehire him.
No, he's there at the end. They're going
Yeah.
to Tahiti.
But
Yeah.
we don't know if
they
he
go
got
to
his job
Tahiti
back.
together.
Oh, that's
Oh,
fair.
does it happen in Tahiti, in the spaceport in Tahiti?
Yeah, the Tahitian spaceport. Everybody knows about that.
Famous
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, go on, I'm with you.
That's it.
But, I mean, what else? What else?
That's the
What
movie.
else do you want?
The movie. No, the premise is they're on vacation in Tahiti. It's actually a layover though because they're clearly going to be going into space,
Right.
Right.
and somebody wants to smuggle because it has to be being a sequel. It has to be the same idea but bigger. Someone wants to smuggle a sun bomb because they
Okay.
want to stop the sun because it's free energy.
I'll tweak it. It's not. It's a sun rocket because like not. To go into space, they're gonna go to like Mars. They're not gonna go all the way to the sun, but they'll fire the rocket from the spaceship to blow up the sun.
Sorry, I thought that went without saying.
For our audience,
Yeah.
in case they weren't
They're
following.
not writers. They don't really get this.
No, they don't understand the
They
process.
don't get it.
There's
No, they
two
don't get
rockets, by the way. That's part of the.
Yeah, part of the two
That's why
There's
it's
two.
called
Yeah.
two check to
two
baggage.
check, two baggage. Sun bomb, working subtitle there. And obviously Will Arnett, as we've already casted, but he's a
Yeah.
fantastic actor. He's going to play.
The astronaut.
No, he's the villain.
Yeah. Oh, we need the cosmonaut.
You're right. Because he's Russian, of course. And we got there. Okay, yeah.
Hey, Will Arnett can do a mean Russian accent. I've seen him do it on Horton Hears a Who. So that's
So he's
Great.
locked.
Same.
And basically, on their vacation to Mars, they find out there is a secondary rocket within their rocket designated
Right.
for the sun.
Yeah.
And there is a cosmonaut on board. And they realize because he has a Russian accent that he must be the pilot of the second second rocket, not second Russian with Destiny. And then
But who is the cosmonaut manipulating? That is.
Oh right,
you gotta have
we need the aspect of them like threatening their loved ones.
Yeah.
So, listen to this twist.
Yep. I love it.
They're best friends, and he threatens to the other one that he's going to kill the other one. So to Ethan, he says, "If you don't listen, I'm going to kill Jason." And to Jason, if you don't listen, I'm going to kill Ethan.
Oh.
See what I mean?
And is it like they're trying to cover his bases, or is it like two different cosmonauts trying to outdo each other to see who launches the bomb?
Yes.
They're working together. Yes. So they. No, I've got this. There's a second. Like it's a reveal. Like 2/3 of the way into the movie, there's a second cosmonaut, and that second cosmonaut is trying to launch the second rocket, and he is pitting the wives, Nora and Jason's wife, against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And also, if we're gonna remain true to the formula of this movie, does it like at what point during this movie that it goes from like an space action movie to a
At the same
musical?
time, the reveal happens.
So it becomes a musical again.
Yeah, and
We need a
obviously
genre shift.
Sean Hayes is the other cosmonaut.
Obviously.
Yeah,
does that even need to be said?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just for the
He
audience.
also can
just in case
sing, and so he'll be perfect for that third act reveal.
which is a
Yeah,
musical.
which is a musical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
Basically, the
Obviously.
second that the second rocket leaves the first rocket and all the characters make their way towards the sun, there's no more talking.
No, it's all
Right.
musical.
It's just singing.
Yeah.
Singing
We'll play it
and
off as
dancing.
Space Madness. Everything is
Yeah,
musical.
it's Space Madness, and also the bomb runs on music.
I was gonna say, yeah, like the fuel is music.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna get to the sun, because otherwise it wouldn't.
Yeah. Anyways, we're not
Obviously.
gonna finish it. We don't want to ruin
Yeah, they
it.
blow up the sun.
That's
Yeah.
We're
Spoilers.
gonna try. Will they?
Spoilers.
I don't know. We
Gotta
gotta watch.
two checks,
checks.
or whatever
Two
the fuck
bags
we're
of
calling
check
it.
two bags.
To check to baggage. Sun bomb.
Sun bomb. That's the hook.
It's great. I would watch that for sure. Hey, if Ethan, I want to do a little role playing here. We're gonna replace Ethan, and we're gonna replace the Traveler.
Okay.
The Traveler is not gonna be John McClane, and Ethan is Hans Gruber.
Wait, what?
Wait,
how
what?
does this movie play out?
The opposite.
Yeah,
Sorry.
So wait, Hans Gruber is a TSA agent,
yes, correct.
And Ethan.
and John McClane, for some reason,
John
has become a
McClane.
terrorist.
Is the Traveler? I didn't say they were terrorists. I'm just saying we replace those two characters. How does this play out? What if the TSA agent is the evil one?
Oh.
you take this where you
Hey,
will.
and-
the door. What is this
And-
earpiece you have given me?
Why did it become Jar Jar Binks all of a sudden?
No.
I'm Bill Clay.
Bill Clay, yeah.
yeah, the American man. Whoa, what's going on? What's happening?
So John McClane wants to smuggle a nerve gas into a plane for whatever reason.
Is the plane, hypothetically, is the plane a 100 to 200 story building?
Called Nakatomi
Nakatomi
Plaza.
Plaza by chance?
It is. What's the right way to call this? You know how, like, Voltron is a series of things put together.
Yes.
Right.
It's like, it's
It's
like
a series of planes that become a building.
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
It's a series of materials like concrete, glass, rebar.
No. Planes.
Okay, planes.
Planes. Yeah.
About 5 or so planes
Okay.
combined to make Nakatomi Plaza.
Okay.
Welcome to Nakatomi Plaza. I'm Alan Rickman. Sorry.
He became whatever the name of the house elf from Harry Potter
My
is.
name
Dobby.
Dobby is free.
I
He can't do it anymore.
no, I just hear Dobby. My name is Ethan, and I'm your American agent.
I'm also free.
Free Ethan. So I don't know how to write this with John McClane being a terrorist.
So I was just gonna say. So Hans first change that happens is Hans Gruber just lets the thing go, no threat required, because he's Hans Gruber,
Right.
obviously.
Great.
Then John McClane's
So-
like, you became motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna nerve gas this plane building for some reason.
My wife left me because I'm a raging alcoholic, and fuck you, I guess.
Yeah.
And then he blows up the plaza because there's no hero in this story.
Yeah, but it was
No.
a nerve agent, and there was
He's still
nobody
the
inside the
hero.
building, so nobody
Oh.
dies.
And the monsters were on the plane all along.
Ah,
He tricked Hans Gruber into killing all his friends. Hans' friends, not John's.
I've blown up this plaza for money. As a
All your friends were in there, you idiot.
oh. And scene.
And
There you go. I think we nailed it.
great job. Let's give some reviews and rankings on
Fucking
this
madness.
movie.
Okay.
That was. I mean, even for us, that was out there.
I mean, that's fine. We watched
You
Carry
threw a
On.
big curveball. With John McClane
That's-
being the terrorist and Jen Gruber being
yeah.
the police officer. You just don't. That's tough.
You're welcome.
My favorite part about this was the Voltron building.
I mean that was fantastic.
Anytime. Let's review this movie. We use our patented rating system, S tiered. We made it. It's ours. We're the inventors. Don't try to steal it or copy it from us.
Yeah, we will
S
sue.
is the highest. F is the lowest. We are litigious, just like Elon Musk.
Jesus Christ.
Spencer.
I'm torn on this movie because the first half of the movie I really enjoyed, and it's like the second half I did not enjoy, but it made me not like I didn't like it because
As
it wasn't the
much?
first half, and it was like a different movie. So like both movies on their own, like would kind of work, and it's like does the change deter the first half, and vice versa? You know, it's a weird thing to review because they're both done like fine. The first half I would have given like a B, and the second half I probably would have given a D. So I'm gonna go right in the middle and
C.
give it an A. No,
Wait, what?
no, I'm gonna give it a C because I think that's only
Okay.
fair. But I much would have preferred though if it's a first half movie of it being like I said, like a chess match,
Yeah.
continued, and it just was like
Yeah.
like them throughout the whole movie until they finally come to a confrontation in the end in person. You know,
But
Yeah.
then how would they have made the obvious Die Hard connection if that
I
was
mean
the
then
case?
you would have to make like your own original film,
Yeah,
which
I
I think is
know.
illegal at this point of the time.
Nowadays, yeah,
I think
yeah.
2025 they've actually passed a law. You cannot have any original properties.
It's true. I think you're correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Luciano, do you want to say anything different than what
Not
Spencer
really.
said?
Actually, I had a similar like I started I went in with not really knowing much about what the movie was about, and that sort of tense. Like I was like, oh, this is an actual thriller, not a thriller disguised as something else. Nope, wrong. Fuck you. But I like I
Surprise.
I didn't really like I didn't dislike the movie, but you know, talking today as usually does kind of brought it a little bit further down for me. I was already like thinking this is either like a very low B or like a high C, but actually it lands right in the middle of C for me. It's not that I didn't enjoy it, but they kind of promised me something and didn't deliver, and that, like Spencer said, like if the last part of the movie was set up like the first part of the movie was set up like the last part of the movie would be fine, right? That would be a C2 or maybe a D if it was badly done. But sort of the juxtaposition is kind of like what's happening, and it would bring it down from a B to a C for me. So, C.
Fair enough. I have a slightly different thought on the movie. I think
You're wrong.
the first part was an A. It was excellent. I had a great time. And the second part, if I can get this math correctly, it was an E. It was horrible. It was stupid. And so I'm going to average it into a C. Perfect.
Right, fine.
Everything you guys said, like it could have been really good, but they just took two halves of like they clearly didn't know how to take the thriller and end it. I think they boxed themselves into a tight corner with the TSA agent thing, and so the only way to do it was to go actiony. But if they had at least gone actiony in a way that made sense, they might have been able to land the plane. Pun
Oh,
intended.
professional reviewer here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Unfortunately,
job.
the plot never really took off.
Yeah,
Hey, got him.
you couldn't pass scrutiny.
What?
Yeah, that's what TSA does. Scrutinizes
you.
everything you
Oh
do.
Why
my
can't you just
God.
Because
play
I'm
along
me. Have you
The
met me?
plane. We're done here.
We work, but there was some
Get out of here.
turbulence along the way.
Get out of here. It's too late. Luciano ruined it. We watched.
Yay.
We will watch next week. We're gonna watch. Was
There
it?
you go.
Is it called The Lord of the Rings? Is it
Yes.
actually titled
Yeah,
that
it's
way?
a giant name. Yes.
The Lord of the Rings: Space. The War of the Rohirrim.
As we call it.
Hey, he landed it.
2024.
He
vehicle,
landed it. Nice.
Or
starring Luke Pasqualino as Wolf.
That
we
guy.
just call it TLOTRTWOTR
Yeah.
for short.
Water.
And Sean Dooley as Freka.
Water.
Oh, that's right.
And Michael
Water.
Wildsman as
Water,
General
water.
Targ.
Hot.
And Brian Cox as Helm.
Brian Cox.
Oh, Brian Cox, nice.
Yeah.
Who does he play?
Helm.
Helm.
Do you not listen?
Clearly
You should
not.
stop listening to the TSA terminology. Start listening.
No.
Oh. Oh.
Just the ultimate put down. No.
Oh.
Anyways, we're gonna watch that mess of a title. It's animated. Chris will hopefully be back. We'll have fun things to say about it, or not, and stuff and things. Thanks for listening.
Thanks
Bye.
for listening. Oh.
You just sound like you've had a head injury.
Yeah,
It's gotten so much worse.
It sounds like you needed to be
Oh,
in the airtight
let me just say
tank.
Alan Rickman to recalibrate, okay?
Okay.
Alan Rickman.